So I went to go see Prisoners. It stars Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's directed by a man most American audiences have probably not heard of before. He's a Canadian director named Denis Villeneuve, and he doesn't have a ton of films under his belt, but they're nominated for all sorts of awards. Most notably, his 2010 film, Incendies, was up for the 2011 Academy Award for Best Foreign Film. And I gotta say, the quality of his work really shows here in Prisoners. It really does. So what can I say about this movie? I don't think most people are going to enjoy Prisoners, because it's just not a movie that you really enjoy. It's not fun. It's way too dark, and it goes into some really potentially disturbing aspects of good people for it to be an enjoyable movie. That's not to say it's not worth watching. Schindler's List was not a very enjoyable movie, but it was worth watching. Old Boy, the Korean version, is not a very enjoyable movie, but I think it's worth watching. This kind of falls into that same category. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that Prisoners is as powerful a movie as Schindler's List, or that it's as disturbing a movie as Old Boy, or even that it's really breaking any new ground storytelling, or it's delving into something as yet unexplored. It's not. But it is delving into the whole, the morality play of just how far is a good man willing to go, in a way that's going to cause people to feel uncomfortable. That's really the long and short of it. So the general idea is, how far is a good man willing to go? And that's been done time after time over the years, but it's done particularly well here. And to a large extent, that's the strength of the performances. They're really good. Hugh Jackman in particular does a fantastic job. It's too early to really say if he's going to be up for any awards for it, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if he was up for something. Now, his character and Terrence Howard's character, their daughters have been kidnapped, and Hugh Jackman is convinced that this sort of really low IQ, he has some mental problems. This one man has kidnapped them, and the police can't find anything to point to this man as the kidnapper. There's nothing to say that he did it. They can find no evidence, nothing. He's not lying on lie detectors, and so they let him go. Hugh Jackman, however, he's seen some things that no one else really saw, and he's convinced, and so he kidnaps the man and proceeds to spend most of the rest of the movie torturing him, trying to extract the information of where his daughter is. Now, this isn't like, Saw torture porn kind of thing. You don't really see the torture. There's little bits of it. You see him, sort of start to hit, and there's other things. But really, what carries the impact is you see how the torture is affecting him. You see him wrestling with it. You see the people around him, the couple people who know what's going on. You see them struggling with it, and you're constantly bombarded with the idea of, has he gone too far? Did this child really kidnap the kids? Is it really right? And even if he did kidnap the daughter, does that make it does that make what he's doing right? And as I said, this is nothing new, and it's kind of college ethics course sort of thing, if that. But just seeing how it affects these characters, and how well they portray this emotion and this real soul splitting kind of doubt, and it really makes things hit home. And so, well, it's nothing new. It is powerful just based on the strength of the performances. So, I've seen people calling this a thriller, and I don't really agree. I can kind of see where they're coming from. But the pacing of the movie is just too slow. It's a very, very deliberate, very slowly flowing film. Which is not to say that it doesn't keep a suspense and keep a level of engagement throughout its runtime. But it's just it just doesn't quite reach that sort of thriller level of audience engagement. And I've seen people call it a mystery, but it's really not either, because we're not going into the kidnapping. We're not figuring things out. I mean, sure, Jake Gyllenhaal's Detective Loki character, he is doing his best to try and figure things out and track down leads, but you don't really see much of that. You're really seeing how things affect him and how he deals with these things more than the process of discovery. And so, not really a mystery either. It's really just a character study. You're delving into how things affect Jake Gyllenhaal's and Hugh Jackman's characters. It's a character study mixed with a morality play. It's just a very slowly paced, methodical, engaging, well-acted character study. And while it does have some issues, because you're really dealing more with the emotions and things like that than the actual events, things sort of break down and become a little bit uneven towards the end, and things just don't really work here and there. But overall, I have to say it's a film that's worth watching. Now, if you disagree, and I'm sure people will, please let me know. I'm really interested in what people think about these things. And if you agree, I mean, that's cool too. Let me know that too. But yeah, until next time, folks. Enjoy film.